Photographers are like mosquitoes. You're not sure why they exist. They bite your style. They fly around your city, bothering the pedestrians. It doesn't mean that if 5 of them come to me for help, I'm going to turn them away. Come on.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we do 5 questions now instead of 10. That means we get shows more often since your questions lack intrigue. You bunch of boring photographers asking me, oh, what kind of flash should I use for weddings? Stacy, are you happy in this marriage? Just let me, I'm going to bounce this off the ceiling. Oh no, the ceilings are 14 feet tall. It didn't reach. Oh, we can do the wedding over again, right? Lose. And this might be the last time we film ourselves on the Zeiss Magic. I don't know, man. I got ripped off. I've been going back and forth with this eBay seller saying, like, there's all this fungus. I didn't see that. And he's like, we told you. And I was like, no. And then I read the ad again and was like, okay. It said, no scratch, no haze, there is fungus. I read it as like, no scratch, no haze, no fungus. And then I moved on. I couldn't see the fungus in the pics, although if you look now, I see it. But it's much worse in reality with my photos. So whatever I'm going to lose, custom fee money. So I'm renting this lens, and I hate my life. Was that your question? Well, I have high frame rates for vlogging camera. Doesn't make sense, bro. Listen, you inept, just uncouth, Fabergé eggless loser. You don't know what caviar tastes like. Neither do I. I've never had it. But, man, my favorite moments. I just remember taking a trip. Where was that trip? I guess I don't remember it. It was St. Catharines. I brought the Fuji X-T4 and I was like, you know what? This is probably the best vlogging camera. Got my slow-mo. And when we were leaving on the train, I was like, I'm going to do a little B-roll slow-mo sequence. Let us witness some of it. When I put some music to that footage, it just felt so emotional, and that's part of what I want to do here. Some funny content, but also like deep, emotional, moving stuff. And slow motion works best for that. All those little slow-mo street videography videos, I love those. So slow motion is like #1 for me. This guy's probably thinking like, you can't vlog in slow-mo. It's not for talking head portions, you moron. My audio level's clipped. Just a side note before we get to the next loser. Should I return this lens, get a Canon speed booster, and try the 24mm 1.4 with that combo, or just abandon this whole Blackmagic rig and leave it forever? Let me know down below. Only 2 of you tell me. I don't want like 15 comments. It's bullshit. Hey Casey, what do you think about the FX30 for talking head YouTube videos? Is there a better choice? Yeah, there's several. Or is that overkill? Like, use the Canon SD 1100 IS that I started my YouTube channel with. You start there, and then you think of moving your way up. Loser. I wrote down some things for you. No one cares, first of all. I'm filming on a 10-year-old camera. Could it matter? Like, get one of these if you could. Now, I have a feeling, just for talking head videos, you do a little side-by-side, I think the Sony a7C will look better than the FX30, even though you have your 10-bit. Oh my god, so much better, I promise. You're gonna have the full frame look with the a7C. I think that would look better. The Fuji XS20, better color for sure. Somewhat reliable enough autofocus for talking heads. It never lost me in here, really. It's good enough. Much better color. Canon R8, I would prefer that over the FX30. Sony anything. I mean, Every time I look at my videos and I'm like, oh God, that looks terrible. It was shot on the Sony. Every single time it's like Canon, oh, nice pleasing colors. Blackmagic, oh, so vintage. Sony, oh God, what's wrong with that? What happened? What did I do? Something. Nikon Z30? Anyone? It could work. Honestly, I was watching the reviews of like the 12 to 28. There's only a bunch of Hong Kong freaks out there making the reviews. It's not in English, but they show the stuff. They're vlogging. It's very shaky. It does not look good. Sony X3000 all the way over that one, but there's some options for you. Blackmagic anything would work. Honestly, the Sony FX30 is probably as good as anything in that bunch. You have to get used to seeing your footage and thinking, what happened? Why does it look like that? How do you change the colors of this to that? Why are my blues purple? How come orange is yellow? So you're tweaking shit, you're getting used to that life. But for whatever reason you want to do that, I don't know where this sentence ends. I'm just going to go home. For the next Q&A, listen, buddy, I decide. I get so many questions. Most of them, 90% of them are like, why the hell are you asking me that? And they do not get into the show. Just because you said that, just because 2 times I've seen that and both questions have made it in, it's a coincidence. This just happens to be a decent question. How do you manage to be that confident in yourself while vlogging? Every time I'm going to vlog, I think too much about what people are thinking. When they see me, I can't manage to stay natural and myself. Then my content is bad. Can't upload that. Any tips? Upload the bad content. That is the good content. Your mistakes. Stop trying to be so perfect and embrace feeling awkward. Live that moment and bring your audience into it. Like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. What do you get nervous about? Your underwear color? But sometimes you just gotta jump in the pool. It's cold, it's scary, it's wet. And you know it's gonna be a shock to the system and you overthink it. Like, oh God, I don't wanna jump in there. It's gonna be so cold. I remember last time and I'm shivering. Just jump in, man. Just press record and go. I remember in Thailand, I was walking with my friend and we were both vegan at the time, but then I switched to carnivore. And then I was getting all this hate on my vegan channel. And then I needed to talk to somebody. And I called him up and he's like, yeah, like he was such a nice vegan. He's like, I don't care, man, let's talk. And so like we're talking and I was like, this would make a good video. Like vegan goes carnivore. What does his vegan friend think? Oh my God. And he was like so nervous for some reason. Like he was just like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't really feel like I'm, and like we're talking, I'm just like, pressed record on my X3000. Hey, here with Max, and I just went carnivore, and he loosened up immediately, and it was just a great episode. We're just walking and talking, and he had nothing, no nerves whatsoever once we were in action. So stop thinking about it. Thinking about anything is the hard part of anything. You're gonna go play a recital on stage in front of thousands. You're throwing up backstage. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Just go out there and start hitting the keys. Hit the right ones, asshole. Some other tips, you gotta live for the awkwardness. You're gonna feel awkward at times. A bunch of people, maybe 4 friends are walking towards you and you're filming yourself like a douche. You got your blue light, you're holding your blue light outside with one hand and they're like, what the hell's he doing? They're laughing to each other, probably about another joke, something that's not even including you. And it's like, just embrace it. Just look at them and, hey, guys, hey, turn the camera to them and see what happens. Include the community in your show. That's what I often do. Just like include them. Hey, as soon as I see someone doing anything, I'm like, hey. It's weird, but it works. Another tip that you wouldn't think of, go to a busier area. You're nervous because of the one person on your side street. That's the worst for me. Whereas I could go downtown, surrounded by hundreds of people, you blend in more. But when it's one person and her child walking, and they're both looking at you, it's like, especially if you're having weird conversation, like, oh yeah, fake Joe Biden's clone. I can't believe he faked the election. He's still, there's like 7 actors that play him. He was caught in 2 different countries at one time. So, oh, hey, family, do you agree with what I was? Nobody does? Okay, I'll go. And last tip, use a smaller camera. X3000, something that doesn't draw attention to you. You're gonna feel weirder the bigger the rig with the tripod. You got a fluffy mic on top. It's like, abandon all that. The X3000 is perfect in so many ways. Not just the image quality, not just the stabe, not just the audio being clipped at all times, not just the menu system and the beeps it makes, but also being so discreet. The perfect camera. While you are waiting for the perfect camera, which camera do you use as your main camera? I have no such thing. I'm not loyal to anything. Right now I'm doing black magic for talking heads sometimes just to test it and see, like, is this worth keeping? It isn't? Oh. Usually Canon is doing the talking heads, but Canon can't see people in glasses. And then it focus hunts and it's like, thanks for the reliability. Glad you lead the industry. If it's wildlife, Sony a7S III, boom, 200 to 600, that's a good times. Or talking heads, sometimes I go to Sony just to check to see if there's a firmware update. Oh, no, nothing, huh? Okay, just turn that off. And since my boy, Buddy, who I definitely remember his name, gave me the X3000 back, that's my main vlogging cam. I don't even look at that GoPro piece of shit from Corzine. How dare you gift me that perfect 10-bit machine? The files are hard to edit. It's no X3000, that's for sure. So boom, really what I focus on is what's my main lens? I'm just throwing that out there. That's all I ever think. What lens would I like to film this on? Usually you can't beat that Canon 24mm L lens. That thing is fantastic. But sometimes maybe Sony, the Zeiss Batis 25mm Tony 2. Fun times. Usually when I see the Viltrox 16mm 1.8, I'm like, oh, that's too wide. But it's fun sometimes. Or maybe I want a Zeiss 55mm. Wow. So I wish Sony would get their shit together with color science so I don't have to be disappointed every time I see the damn shot. Because Sony would be my main camera, wouldn't look at anything else. Its only flaw, plus its lack of firmware support. Alright, last question. I'm from Bangladesh. Dear, please say who is better for vlogging camera, Sony ZV-1 Mark II or Canon PowerShot V10? You are what's wrong with our world. Are you aware of that? The two worst vlogging cameras released in our time. And you're asking, which one should I get? These were marketed towards me as perfect vlogging cameras. Which one's better? Neither. The answer is the Sony X3000. The answer is the ZV-1 original, which I hate. I got a comment the other day on an old ZV-1 video where I said, like, it's not very good, not very wide, not very stable, battery life is shit, tripod screw, can't even open the door. And he was like, but you recommended the ZV-1 now. In context of the ZV-1 2 being so bad. That's why. So the answer is no. Which one is better? No. Neither. None. I would not kill a pigeon with either one of those cameras. He would go straight to hell. Like, what did you die from? A ZV? Oh, God. Have some dignity. Get run over by, like, a tractor or something. Both of those cameras are worse than things those companies already have. And you're asking me which is better. Anything older is always the answer. Look for something used from 8 years ago. 8 and up. Or down, however you're looking backwards through time. I hate you so much. So 5 potential disasters have been averted. You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome. So say goodbye to the Zeiss lens. Probably going to ship it back at a loss. By the way, thank you for that, Japan. And here we are. It's my fault. I should have read very clearly it said fungus, and the pictures definitely show it. That was a sketchy lens. Just do your diligence. But now what? I got a Nikon speed booster that was a gift, and so I felt compelled to use it with this purchase, and that was the only intriguing lens. I looked at Angry Photographer's list of high fidelity lenses with micro contrast for Nikon F, and that was the only one that stood out as something special. And now what? I don't know what to even do with the damn thing. I love this speed booster. I can't even use it. Would you mind if I sold it and put it towards something else? That's what I've been doing with gifts sometimes. Okay, we use it for a while, then we sell it. Why do I keep touching that? And then we put the money into something new and we all get to see something different. I like the whole theory. Thank you all for everybody's donations. They really help me have fun and serious regrets as soon as I accept anything. I'm like, damn, that sucks. I'm impossible to give to. My mom says that. You're impossible to buy for. You're never happy. I hate buying you anything. I'm impossible. I should be arrested. I'm going to leave. Are you buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt? Get the cotton. Extra soft. The polyester ones are low frequency. They submerge you in defeat. So, subscribe for more. I'm saying that.